We are a recovery club, and my initial thought and our mission was kind of to copy what the AA Clubhouse at 521 was, which is a place for 12-step meetings, any other kind of recovery meetings, sober events, and kind of like hangout space for people. So what we have is we have spaces for meetings. We have, like you said, the ping pong and the pool table, shuffleboard. We have Wi-Fi, computers, printers, things like that. TV, there's a projector there. We have a space where we put on the NFL games, movie nights, game nights, that kind of thing. What we've now evolved into is actually a little bit more. Never was it in the initial intentions to have what we call open hours. So during the day, 3 days a week, there's a CRS, which is a certified recovery specialist on site. And there are folks that are trained that are in recovery themselves. And once they've hit a certain amount of time in recovery, they take a training, they become certified to help people, navigate through getting sober and the struggles and the obstacles that they come across. So they're there on site 3 days a week. And we also added a clothing closet, a food pantry. We have people that walk in the door and say, hey, I need help. And we help them get into treatment. And like I said, those were never in the initial plans, but they're kind of what I call icing on the cake, because we're doing a little more outreach than, that initial, like a safe and sober place, to be.
Yeah. And can you speak a little bit? I mean, I got to in person hear you speak about what happens when you have food out for folks to kind of bring them into the Oasis. And this kind of happened by accident, but I think for the people listening outside of our area, just to reiterate, Shamokin, Pennsylvania is in the coal region, and the coal region in general has been dealing with, these issues for quite a long time. And Danielle's really taking it upon herself to make a difference in folks' lives. But there's folks who are hungry, and I want you to kind of tell the audience the impact you've had whenever there's food being donated or food available.
Sure, absolutely, Chad. So like you said, we are a small coal town, and I always kind of say when I'm speaking that we're a small town with a big drug problem. And along with that big drug problem comes the other obstacles of poverty, we don't have adequate housing for folks. There's not a lot of resources for mental health and things like that. We do not have a shelter. We do not have a food pantry that's open on a daily basis. We have churches and different organizations that do a little bit of that food outreach. But over the summer, we connected with the Shamokin Mission Church, who had been getting food donated by Knoebels amusement park, their catering end of things. It was left over from the weekends prior, like hot dogs, macaroni salad, mac and cheese, those kind of foods. And Shamokin Mission Church had more than they could use. So they contacted us and said, hey, is there a way you can get this food out to the folks that could use it? And so during our open hours, we will host food giveaways. We have a little sandwich board we put out on the sidewalk that says free food today. And people would come in down off the streets, and we have to-go containers, and they can either eat it in, they can take it out, and they can walk in and actually see our space. And it's brought more awareness to the Oasis for those that might pass and they're not quite sure what it is, that they can kind of come in at a safe time and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing amazing work. I have so many questions for you, and I'm so proud of you. Is Oasis Recovery Club scalable? I mean, like when we think about it in previous podcasts, we talked. Chad and I have a passion for trying to help some of these small towns, and we're thinking about doing it through our entrepreneurship and through our leadership in the business world. But for your lane and the lane you're in, I'm a big believer that if we get everybody on the right seat of the bus, we're all better. And you seem like you're on the right seat of the bus, right? You had something telling you that you could make a difference, and you're doing it. Now, is this scalable to other towns struggling with this drug epidemic that we all are trying to fight? Is that something that you think can be replicated?
Absolutely.